You see that? You see that? Any idea what that is? Eh? It's not a flower, I don't know, it looks a bit like one, doesn't it? It's a fossil. Aye. Aye, it's a fossil. We're talking, what's a fossil then? It used to exist, aye. I mean, they weren't rare, these things. Anybody know what it's called, by the way? Does anybody happen to know? It's called an ammonite. Aye. And when these were alive, which was millions of years ago, they certainly weren't rare. They're very rare now because they don't exist anymore. Aye, so, yeah, I found this on the beach in Lyme Regis. Anybody been to Lyme Regis? And on the south coast? Oh, it's a great place for fossils.
I have a fossil from Nautilus.
Oh, Nautilus.
Yes, I do.
Well, if you go down to Lyme Regis, you see, I mean, see the rocks. I mean, some of those ammonites there, as big as dustbin lids, they're fine there. Aye. Well, I mean, they're great things that. What's the road here? Where's been putting? It looks like my bag is half full of fossils. Should have done that. Well, that's not a fossil. Hey, does anybody know what that is? Take it. You find a bit of it, eh? Well, it's heavy. It's not, is it? You know what that is? It's lava from the volcano. Yeah, it's got holes in it, you see? The air bubbles there. Yeah, you can look at that in a minute. I don't know what's been put. I mean, you shouldn't have fossils in your medical bag. It's not really hygienic, is it? Oh, dear. Oh, wait a minute. I think I know what it is. That'll be my cook. Yeah, she's, well, I've probably left these lying out in the kitchen. She's always complaining about that, so she probably got her own back and put it in my bag. Anyway, it's not such a bad thing, because it does sort of bring me on to another of my hobbies, which I have already mentioned, which is geology. And in particular, I mean, geology, as you say, it's rocks. I mean, you can study where rocks came from and the sort of things you can use rocks. What sort of things do you think we use rocks for? Just in their everyday life. Any ideas how we use rocks? Things you dig out of the earth. What do you dig out of the earth? No? Out of mines. What do you get in the mines? You get coal. So coal, that's part of geology. And the roofs, what do you put on the roofs? Any ideas? It could be tiles, which are made of sort of clay and things, and that's geology. And other things you can put on. If you don't have tiles, what do you have? Big flat square thing, well, oblong things. Slates. Those are just rocks that split up. So it's all sorts of things, but the other thing, of course, about geology is fossils. And that's my particular interest, fossils. I've been collecting fossils along with the botanical specimens and the flowers and things for years now, and I've got a great collection. I mean, these are just a few little ones, but I've got so many. And I made a decision about them because I'm not a young man anymore. I'm not going to last forever. And when I do die, I'm going to leave all my fossils to Wolverhampton Art Gallery so they can be looked after properly. And maybe, people can go and see them sometime. But perhaps you'd like to have a look at some of these. Pass them around, eh? Some of them you see, you can see that quite plainly. Just have a look and pass it around. And some of them are much smaller. There's some sort of shell there. And let's see what you can see on them. Pass them around. 20 million years old, so they won't go many time. And some at the back there. Well, that one bites, so be careful. Oh, I don't think I'll get you. Keep it. Anyway, grab that one. Don't want that one. Right. So, and if you like, I don't know if you want to see any of that. I mean, there's just a few little ones. I don't know if you want to see any of the other fossils, the bigger ones. We'll go downstairs in a minute and see those.
I've got an animal at home.
Have you? You didn't recognise, you didn't say what it was, did you? Well, then you got one at home. Where did you get that from?
And I went to my daughter and in the shop.
Oh, the silver. Oh, I sold them to you. Perhaps I should sell mine.
Dr. Fraser,
Trouble.
and in fact, you told us quite a lot about yourself.
Alright.
And I just wondered, children wanted to know more about what it's like being such a famous and important doctor.
I'm not famous.
Well, I think you are.
Nah. Only Wolverhampton.
Do you want to know anything about the places he works? Because he works in lots of different places in the town.
Have you got any questions, children, you want to ask?
Looking at the fossils, that's fine.
Any questions that you want to ask?
If you've got any questions, I'm not promising I'll answer them, but you can ask them. No.
What about the fossil side of it then? Is there anything you want to ask the good doctor about his fossil collection? You're looking at some, yes?
How many fossils have you collected about?
I've not counted them. There's more than 1,000.
How long have you been for?
Well, that's in the 70s now, and I suppose I started. It's over 50 years. Aye. Huh? Oh, I love that. You know, it's just the finding things in the rock there. By the way, if you want to find fossils, you don't have to go all the way to Lyme Regis or anywhere. There's a place much closer to home. Anybody ever been to the Wren's Nest? Eh? Wren's Nest?
Yes.
Ah, I expect you have, right? Well, you take your children this time. I mean, it's just this side of Dudley, and there's a great hill full of fossils. Millions of years ago, that was a coral reef in a tropical sea. Now it's a hill outside Dudley. Yeah, it's gone down in the world a bit, hasn't it?
Anything else you'd like to ask the good doctor whilst he's with us?
Right?
What was the last fossil you collected?
Well, the last fossil. Well, it was a wee trilobite that I found in. Was it in Shifnal, I think? Shifnal, was it? What was it? I can't remember.
It could be Ludlow.
Possible.
Can I ask, Doctor, do you go digging for fossils, or is it as you walk and you stumble upon them?
Well, you can see them sometimes in the cliffs, and you have a hammer, you know, when you get them out and get the rock out that way. Or sometimes, like sometimes you just pick them up on the beach, without the Lyme Regis. You don't really have to dig. Well, some people do, of course.
With observant skills.
We've got one actually. You may not have seen what it actually is. It's out in the times, out in the courtyard of this gallery, which we'll go and have a look at later. So sometimes they're quite easy to see.
Can I ask a question as well, please? Could you explain to the children what kind of rock you're likely to find fossils in, please?
Well, the fossils develop in. The fossils have sort of settled down, so you're looking at sort of sedimentary rock very often. Where the different things have fallen down and the fossils, so limestone.
But not just limestone.
No,
I'll
sandstone.
help the doctor here.
Right.
Jurassic conditions as well, where you get big things like dinosaurs. Sometimes, I'm trying to remember, you'll have them in. It's actually mainly limestone, but it isn't just limestone. So it's quite a technical question. But different places have different fossils. It's important to remember that. You talked about Wren's Nest, Doctor, because you know that very well. And in fact, you can actually get fossils, you pick them up off the ground, and I'll talk to you about that later. But they're really quite small animals and big corals, no dinosaurs. If you go to Dorset, where Lyme is, and the Isle of Wight, then you can actually find dinosaur bones of really large animals. And they're different. They're actually dinosaurs and chalks, all of those. I just realised. And there's something called lias. There's a lot of answers to that question.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But the thing to remember is that I think the reason you asked the question is that you get different fossils in different places. So there's no good us looking for dinosaurs at Wren's Nest. We'd have to go to the Isle of Wight or America or China for that, for example. Some of the fossils from your collection which I've taken, I don't know if you don't mind, there's 9,000 in fact in the historic collection. And your notes are still in there. The little notes that you did in pen are very small. Some of those are quite interesting fossils from other parts of the world, so we'll be looking at those in a few minutes. But I think probably now, if you're happy, Doctor, perhaps you want to come downstairs with us to pop in and say hello again. But I think if we get the fossils back, we could do something else. Okay? So don't get up, please. Can you just make sure you give us the fossils? I've got one. Thank you. And if you find them difficult to look at, in a bit, the people working with you will show you what's actually in that piece of rock.
Children,
Any more?
no more fossils,
I'm
children.
going to have to get my bags. There's some small ones. Dr. Foster, did you give out all the small ones?
Did I? Oh, sure.
You may have them in your side pocket where Cook put them.
Aye.
Yeah. I think you ought to talk to that woman. Told you. What's that one? Oh, that's a rock. Isn't that lovely? It's not an animal or plant, it's just a rock. Okay, are we sure we've got all the fossils? It isn't actually. No, it's not. Heavy black one. Sparrow? Yeah. Okay, that's from over in Shropshire. Right then, you've been very kind and listened to the doctors who talked about his life and his fossils. We're going to go down that door. Will we go down the main stairs again?
Yes, please. Right, guys, can we just stand and as we go down the main stairs, if there are any members of the public, could you just stay to one side of the banister, please? Okay, if you'd like to come this way.
And we're sitting here now, so mask on. He's looking at it. He's took the mask off. It's my sister.